This is your humble missionary once again here. We just did a video with my wife to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the birth of a nation called the United States of America. I just want to do this personal video just to share my story, my life story, in a little way on this very special day, because this day stands in history as a very remarkable day in my life. I was born in Nigeria. I went to school in Nigeria. I did my elementary education. I did my high school education. I went to medical school in Nigeria. And so I grew up in Nigeria. And at some point in my life, I heard the voice of the Lord to relocate to the United States of America. I didn't understand it because I am not from a very rich family. At that point, you think only the rich goes to America. But the Lord said, I want you to relocate to the United States of America. And I said, how? The Lord said, I will show you. And so the Lord truly came through. So through the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, that was how God opened the door to the United States of America for me. And so in 1990, there was an international conference of the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International in Anaheim, California. And so I indicated an interest to go to that conference. And by the grace of God, the selection process, everything, interviews were done, and I was among those who were selected to travel to the United States for that conference. God was unpacking something very, very unusual. And so went for the visa interview. By the grace of God, I was granted a visa to go to the United States for that interview, for that conference. And didn't plan it, obviously, didn't plan it. And so it so happened that the conference was first week in July, just like this July we are having, first week in July. And so we left Nigeria. We left Nigeria on the 3rd of July, 1990, 11:05 Nigerian time. That was when our flight took off from Lagos, Nigeria, to head towards New York. And didn't know anything. That was the first time in my life I was stepping into a plane. And so we took off 11:05 Nigerian time with Nigerian Airways to cross the Atlantic for 12 hours to head to New York. Look at this, guys. And so here is this young man who is going to America for the very first time, obviously, and who is flying for the very first time in his life. And so 12 hours later, which was 7 a.m. New York time, exactly 12 hours after we took off from Lagos, the plane touched down in JFK Airport in New York City. I'm like, whoa, exactly 12 hours, the plane landed in New York. It was 7 a.m. New York time. And we came out from the airport, and you could sense a sense of festivity. There was a buzz of festivity going on. And so we left on the 3rd. We arrived New York on the 4th of July of 1990. Wow. And so I saw this festival that was just all over, because when we landed at JFK to connect our next flight, we had to go to LaGuardia, which is their local airport, to fly to California because the conference was taking place in California. And so we